Okay, let's try this again. Hey everybody. So yeah, it's been about a year I've been doing this shit. I've been doing this whole PNGtuber thing. Oh, wait. Oh, I said that up wrong. 1 second. Beautiful start. Where are you? Uh, that's the one I want to change. Okay. Yeah. Okay, that's better. We're back in here now. So yeah, it's been about a year since I've been doing this whole PNG tubing thing, and I've been having a good time with it. This has been a lot of fun to do. For a while, for a long while, I've been wanting to do just kind of streaming through things that I've never played before, like the Final Fantasy games and the Metal Gear Solid games. Those were two big ones. We're going through Final Fantasy right now, but Metal Gear Solid, that was a hell of a time. That took months to do because of how scheduling streams goes. And yeah, over the year I've learned a lot about how my schedule's going. But yeah, I guess for now, let's just go through what I've done. So let's slide myself over. And oh, wrong one. There we go. Hold on. Can I capture my cursor? Yes, it's capturing the cursor. Okay, so yeah. About a year ago, there's the debut. That went relatively well. Actually, let's load in there real quick. Let's also mute it so I don't double up on my own audio. Let's see what I said back then. What was in this PowerPoint, because I did not save this. I see, even then I was having issues getting myself sorted out. So as that's playing, I'm just fudging around with this. Make sure it's the correct size. And after I've done that, I need to resize it anyway. There we go. So yeah, there was my introduction. And right, no backstory. I'm just being myself on the internet, which is a crazy thing to do. Oh, we're gonna talk about some stuff here later. Also, right here, this gimmick, I still have that in mind. That's gonna be for when I upgrade off the PNG and go into like full proper VTuber. Because yeah, I've decided I do want to eventually upgrade. I'm just gonna get the technical know-how on how to do it. If not, hire someone to do it for me. But I've got plans and ideas and schemes. And oh my god, fighters. I really need to start doing more fighters on the channel. I need to set up my internet situation so I can make that a reality. Yeah, we're gonna talk about this one a little later. But platformers and RPGs, I've been hitting that. There was my likes and dislikes. We don't really need to cover those, but wrestling has been a big one for me. uh, in between the last debut. No, wait, it was right before the last debut, and then right before this one, I've gone to 2 AEW events. Both were phenomenal. I've been really enjoying being able to go to live wrestling events because AEW has been regularly coming here. This year's was in Sydney, so I didn't have to go out all that far to actually go see the events. And in the process, hold on, let me take a fresh picture right now. I will be 1 second. Right, pictures taken. Just sending it to myself so I can put it up on stream. It's downloading now. And image. Right, yeah, this is not a prepared stream whatsoever. I completely forgot this was coming up, and so I didn't plan for it. So everything's going right off the cuff. Anyway, I finally, in all my years as a wrestling fan, things are not going as planned. Wait, there's an easy way to do this. Bit to screen. There we go. I got a replica belt, which is so awesome to get. This was the last one they had in stock at the events, which was really lucky. They made me sign something to go, hey, so the display bag for this is broken, so you have to sign this so that you can't come back in and demand a refund. And I'm like, yeah, no, that's no problem. I just want the belt. I don't care about the carry bag it came in. But no, I'm so happy that I finally, after 20 years of being a wrestling fan, I finally was able to get my hands on a replica belt. This was really fun to get. This was great. This was a really expensive purchase too. Holy shit. The best part about having a replica belt is that I never have to buy a replica belt again. So yeah. Being able to go to actual AEW events, I'm glad it was AEW too, because, oh man, I've fallen out of WWE. After SummerSlam last year, I had to drop them like a bad habit. So AEW has been my go-to. I've been enjoying New Japan when I get the chance to watch that. I need to extend out my, I need to branch out into more promotions. I caught some indie wrestling before the AEW event this year, so I want to start going to more of my local indie stuff and support them, because that was also really cool. So yeah, that was more on the personal life stuff than it was on the stream stuff, but hey, it happened over the last year. I was really excited about wrestling over the last year, despite WWE shooting themselves in the foot. We don't need to go over the favorite games, although Tekken has been doing pretty good for me recently. I'm very excited for the next season of Tekken to be coming out, and I'll be trying to get into that a bit more on stream and showing that off. How far is it? Oh, I talk about these for a while. Oh yeah. Let's not bother with hated games. Okay, let's see these goals for a second. So I've been getting more consistent at streaming. In a sense, I could be more consistent in like having an actual schedule, but I've been going at least once or twice a week, which is more than I did before I started this. And I've been slowly growing. That's just an always goal. I'm getting there. I've been consistent with viewers. The VTuber one is going to be something to do down the line. Collabs has been hit or miss, in a sense. I've done a couple of collabs with Apollo, who is a very good friend of mine from before I started this, and he is also a VTuber, so I don't really count that since we're already pre-established friends. But through him, I did get to do a collab with Ken Evergreen, which was a really fun time. Getting to like have a mutual love of Monster Hunter and Final Fantasy with someone else through Apollo and making a new friend through that. Ken is a really nice guy. And then right after that, he went off to Japan, so I haven't been able to talk to him much since then. But it sounds like he's been having a great time in Japan, which I do want to go there myself sometime. I just need to save the money for it. And relearning guitar, I did start on that, and then things happened around the time I started, so I need to pick that back up. So there was progress being made, and then progress stopped because life events happened that I will not go into on stream, because it's a little much for stream stuff. And yeah, that seems to be the bulk of what was talked about last year when I debuted. But you know, things have been going well since. Now let's fix this back up. That might be a bit too much. Let's get it like that. Yeah, that seems right. And now I need to scroll back down. Oh god, don't do this to me now, YouTube. Thank you for loading more of my backlog. Okay, there we go. So yeah, there was the debut, and I got through Penny's Big Breakaway after that. Penny's Big Breakaway was really fun. I need to go back and play that game again because oh, that's not showing the entirety of what I wanted to show. Don't worry, we're making this work. I'm trying to get this centered as well as I can. There we go. That should be centered. Anyway. Yeah, so Penny's Big Breakaway was a lot of fun. I need to go back to that because, just for casually enjoying it. It is a shame that the game didn't do as well as the developers had hoped, because Evening Star did get hit pretty bad after it came out. But I'm hoping that whatever they do next does land, and I'm looking forward to whatever they do next, because they're pretty much 2 for 2 for me. Sonic Mania was great, and then Penny's Big Breakaway was also really good. So, yeah, Evening Star, whatever they do next, I'll probably stream that day one. And then we went right into a long Monster Hunter thing. Pretty much just did the entire story front to back. Ended with a collab with Apollo, where we ended up teaming up for the final couple of hunts. Weirdly enough, we were both at about the same spot. I think we were literally on the exact same mission when we planned to collab, and we're like, oh, cool, that lined up really well. Let's just pick up from there. It was really great timing on our ends. And yeah, getting to do a collab for the first time, especially with Monster Hunter. Monster Hunter is a very good collab game. And I've been enjoying the hell out of Wilds, as we'll see as we keep going. And then I got to dive into a couple of reaction stuff with the Nintendo Directs. These actually just kind of... I don't remember how these Directs went, but I did get a Switch too, so they sold me on it. And along with that started the Metal Gear marathon. Like, I went straight from Monster Hunter to Metal Gear. I just needed a little bit of a wind up before I got into like a proper marathon. And yeah, Metal Gear was really good. Going through this entire series front to back, like, well, not the entire series, but the games that mattered by Kojima. Going from them from the very beginning with Metal Gear was a treat. I needed to know how to extend these out, like time these out better, because the final Metal Gear stream ended up being like 50 minutes long. Not even. I did not know I was right at the end of the game when I stopped this part, the second stream. So that was a little weird, but a little funny. And because I was scared of having that happen again, I ended up going for like 5 hours on the second Metal Gear 2 stream, which... a little bit of an Iron Man one for me, this early. Like, I don't usually go that long. I usually try to hover around the 2.5 to 3 hour mark. Oh, and saying that, like, 4.5 hours for the first Monster Hunter Wilds one. I guess it wasn't that uncommon for me then, especially when I was starting on the 9 o'clock dot that I wanted. Which I'll talk about later, I guess. But yeah, Metal Gear 1 and Metal Gear 2 were such fascinating games to go back to. Metal Gear 2 especially, because I see all of the bones there that lead into Metal Gear Solid. Did a stream with Trinity, my girlfriend, for Phasmophobia once. That was fun. It was really, really late for me, so we didn't get to do a ton of it, but I'm trying to mess around with like how getting Discord functionality on the streams works, so that was really good for that too. And in the meanwhile, Monster Hunter had been doing updates, so I got to hit up the I need to get this right, the Mizutsune. I always in my head mix up Mizutsune and Malzeno for some reason. But yeah, this was Mizutsune update, which was just kind of a standard addition to the game. It was fun, it was fine. And then the Blossom Dance event, where I just kind of went through a couple of the Blossom Dance based festivals and grinded out the Sakura Tide armor set. And then we jumped into Metal Gear Solid 1, got through that in a healthy 4 streams. And Metal Gear Solid 1 remains one of my favorite games of all time. It's so good. Just a timeless classic. For the entire Metal Gear series, this and Metal Gear Rising were the only ones I had played beforehand, and I love both of them dearly. So this is why, part of why I wanted to do the marathon was just to have my first time through the other games going. And Metal Gear Solid 1, I had done a Let's Play of in the past. I've long since deleted it because it was a terrible Let's Play. I was riffing off other people's jokes too much. It just didn't feel good to me to keep that up. So yeah, I got to redo that, redo a game I love and have played multiple times, and could still learn and do better from in multiple other playthroughs. And then Akuma in Street Fighter 6. That was fun. I still like playing as Akuma. Sorry, not Akuma in Street Fighter 6. Akuma from Street Fighter 6 in Monster Hunter Wilds. I need to play with his armor set more. I do enjoy them just putting his moveset into the game. And it works surprisingly well. Yeah, but that was just like a fun little thing to do. And then I got like a new favorite game of all time with the Metal Gear Solid 2 stream. Like that game sunk its hooks into me something fierce. Most of these games, I like took a couple of days breaks between some parts, like I got to space them out a bit. Metal Gear Solid 2 hit at the perfect time where I was just able to let it take over my life, and I just streamed it 5 days in a row until I was done. And that felt really good to do. Like, Metal Gear Solid 2 was just a fascinating game. And it's one of those games where once I finished it, I was like, I really felt the itch to go back and replay it, but I didn't because I knew Metal Gear Solid 3 was coming up. I didn't want to, like, just push myself into doing another replay right off the bat when I was about to start up another game. So, yeah, that's something I'll want to do on my own time because Metal Gear Solid 2 feels fantastic. And then a couple more reaction stuff. There was a state of play that happened last year's Summer Games Fest, which from memory wasn't that good. And the Xbox Showcase that happened around the Summer Games Fest as well. Honestly, with reaction streams like these, I don't really have anything I remember off of them. They're just kind of things that I do in the moment. And then I also did a Switch 2 launch day stream where I just played a couple of games that came out on the day the Switch 2 launched. That was a lot of fun. Got to try out Mario Kart World, got to try out Fast Racing RMX, got to try out... what was the other game I played? Soul Calibur 2. I got to play the GameCube classics. Also, hi Vivi. For some reason, chat is hidden, so let's bring that up. There we go. So yeah, once the deluge of reaction stuff and the Switch 2 launch was done, I jumped into Metal Gear Solid 3, which didn't get its hooks in me as bad as Metal Gear Solid 2, mostly because of timing. I think if my schedule was more free around Metal Gear Solid 3's time frame, I would have also just like back-to-back binged this, because this hit like this game is phenomenal. Like, Metal Gear Solid 2 is incredibly good. It also has a lot of back and forth between people who say it's great and it's bad. Metal Gear Solid 3 just has a reception of being one of the greatest games of all time, and it absolutely lives up to that reputation. Like, I feel like I'm a different person after experiencing Metal Gear Solid 2 and Metal Gear Solid 3 than I was beforehand. And then another Monster Hunter update happened. Steve and Larry joins the hunt, and Lagiacrus is an exceptional hunt. They added the underwater segment to this fight, and it was the first time that Monster Hunter Wilds DLC monster felt like they were expanding on what the systems of Wilds could handle, and that felt amazing. So this was like the beginning of Monster Hunter Wilds like reception turning around for me from going from just an alright game to being, oh no, I love this Monster Hunter game. This might be becoming my favorite one to play. And then I did a stupid thing of trying to do Donkey Kong Bonanza and Metal Gear Solid 4 side by side, which you can see kind of fell apart because I only had 3 Donkey Kong Bonanza parts, while Metal Gear Solid 4 had a lot more. yeah, something I'm learning is that trying to juggle multiple games at a time is not a forte of mine, which I'm in the middle of doing right now. I gotta get better about doing that. And then yeah, there was a Flame Feed event in Monster Hunter where Apollo and I just collabed, did the event festival there. That was a fun time. Sorry, I need a second. Sorry, my throat was getting drier. I needed a drink. Okay, Metal Gear Rising. Metal Gear Rising came up. I started that, and then immediately Evo hit. But let's stick with Metal Gear Rising for a moment. Metal Gear Rising Revengeance is absolutely one of my favorite action games of all time. I feel like I'm a little cooler on it now after this replay than I was 10 years ago when I first played it, but it's still a phenomenal action game. There's just, after this replay, I found out that there's more parts of this game that I'm a little mid on than I would have thought I was. But even with that concession, this is still like an all-timer that's fantastic to play start to finish. And again, it's like skipping cutscenes is like 4 hours long. It's, even with those middling parts, you're not there for too long. But the elephant in the room here, Evo. We had some trailer reactions, and it took me a while, but I eventually did manage to render out all my top 8 viewings. Also, thank you for the congratulations. I'm very happy on making it to the first anniversary. But yeah, so Evo was fun to cover. I won't deny that. It was at a very bad time for me because I had to wake up extra early. I was falling asleep during Fatal Fury City of the Wolves, not to the detriment of the game's gameplay, mostly because I was feeling the lack of sleep hitting me at that time, and I didn't get my second win until Tekken 8 started. So these aren't necessarily the best Evo restream VODs to exist, but I'm glad I did it, and I'm never doing it again. Early on, I had made the decision that I won't do an Evo restream unless I have someone to co-commentate it with me, just to keep conversation engaged. And then they got bought out. And to keep things smooth and unpolitical on the channel, let's just leave it at they got bought out, and because of who bought them out, I will not be covering Evo from now on. I'm just getting a hard stance. No, not again. Not unless they let go of that iron grip. And with that out of the way, Metal Gear Rising's DLC. This was actually the first time I had ever played the DLC for Metal Gear Rising, and those were fun. Those were fun little trips to do. And I've during all this, I've also just been kind of plucking along and making my way through Donkey Kong Bonanza until I eventually did finish it. At some point, I just decided, okay, let's lock in and only focus on Donkey Kong Bonanza, and that was a fun time. Donkey Kong Bonanza is definitely like a game you need to own if you have a Nintendo Switch 2. I think it's just a hard stance, must-own game. And then the Sonic, it was September when I was doing all that, and I planned on something I had planned for my first September subathon was to do a Sonic the Hedgehog retrospective. These being out of order is annoying me so much. Why is Sonic CD ahead of Sonic the Hedgehog 1? That should not be like that. Oh well. But yeah, in that time, I I did this. I made my own little Sonic OC PNG to go along with the Sonic the Hedgehog subathon. So that was fun. That was a fun little experiment to do. Loki feels you're really into animes. Kinda. Yes and no. I don't keep up with the seasonals, but I do like to pluck away at things, which is something I'll talk about a little later. Yeah, no, I've made all my assets myself. So yeah. So for the Sonic Subathon, I sat myself down and played through all of the classic Sonic games back to back, and I made the sub goals to add extra games. So the original plan was just Sonic the Hedgehog, Sonic CD, Sonic 2, and Sonic 3. With every 5 subs gave me an extra game added, and I did manage to get 5 subs. So I got Sonic Mania added to that. And oh boy, I needed to do this subathon way earlier in the day, because I started at like 9-10 p.m. So by the time I was finishing up Sonic the Hedgehog 3, I was passing out in my chair while playing. So Sonic 3, I love that game dearly. I started playing it half like the last chunk of that game with my eyes closed and managing to fumble my way through it. But then I hit Sonic Mania, and holy shit, Sonic Mania woke me the fuck back up. I don't know what it is about this game. I adore it so much, and it just gave me that extra little boost I needed. And let's skip that one for now. Omega came to Final Fantasy. Omega from Final Fantasy came to Monster Hunter Wilds, and it was everything Apollo and I had wished for. All throughout Monster Hunter Wilds' marketing reception, even in the collab we did, I believe, we talked about how much we wanted the secret to just get a Chocobo skin, and they gave us that in spades. They gave us one of the best hunts in Monster Hunter as well for the Omega fight. I still need to finish Savage Omega. That's something I'm gonna have to just work my way into chipping away at. Doing that with randoms has not been a great time, but this was another thing that just cemented Monster Hunter Wilds for me as being like a game that I adore. And then we got Peace Walker. I surprisingly like Peace Walker a lot. I wasn't sure how I was going to feel about Metal Gear Solid with small bite-sized missions, but it surprisingly works really well. And the story in the game was really good until you get to the last section that's it's just doing side missions until it decides it wants to make the story progress, which wasn't a great time, and Metal Gear Solid 5 makes that same mistake later on. But yeah, no, Peace Walker was a great time, and I'm planning on picking up Volume 2 so I can do a co-op playthrough on PC, like through easy means, because I was already planning on one of my friends wanted to do co-op, and we were already like thinking about doing it through PPSSPP. But now that the Volume 2 collection is coming out on PC, it's just like, yeah, no, let's just wait for that and do it there, because it will make it so much easier to do. And yeah, no, Ground Zeroes is a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to going through that again in the intended way to play that game. And I also started doing the mistake of multiple games again by playing Pokemon Legends ZA alongside Metal Gear Solid, Ground Zeroes, Peace Walker, and Phantom Pain. Pokemon Legends ZA was quite the game. I liked Pokemon Legends Arceus a lot, and I was really hopeful that Legends ZA would be good as well. It ended up being a really comfy time. I think Arceus is better, but Legend Z8 gives me hope for like town design in future Pokemon games. Like this was a lot of fun to go through. I need Pokemon towns to be designed like this game, where they're actually fully fledged cities. Like being able to go. Let's use Kanto for example. Being able to go through a game based on Kanto and getting to Saffron City, and Saffron City is like as intricately designed as Lumiose is in this game, like without the wild zones obviously, and scaled down a bit because you don't want to be running through that much city. That when it's just city. But yeah, being able to like feel like you're in a fully realized city in a full Pokemon game, that would be nice to experience in a full game. Anyway, Ground Zeroes. The best part of Metal Gear Solid 5 was Ground Zeroes. This little preview of what the game systems were and what was possible with the Fox engine. And this small 1 hour, 3 hour, no, yeah, it was about 1 hour for the main mission, and then like a couple of hours of doing side missions, and then another couple of hours of replaying those side missions and doing the rest. Because I was under the impression that there were like 20 side missions in this, so I was like, oh hey, does anyone want to tell me what missions are worth showcasing? And then I did that in this stream, and when I realized, oh wait, there's only 5 side missions, I just redid all of them in the second one. So that was there was a little bit of time wasting there, but I also got to show like different ways to complete missions and the open-endedness of it, and this is like the ideal experience for an open Metal Gear Solid game. I feel like you just have a really well-designed base that you can make your way through. Like, if we got like a 5-ish hour game that was going through a base as intricately designed as a Mega Base was, I think that would be a top tier Metal Gear Solid game. But that's not what we got with Phantom Pain. Instead, we got a game that has 2 really big, empty open world maps that are not interesting to go through. A story that messes things up completely. And honestly, like, stealth design that isn't great. I was a fan of moments in the Phantom Pain, but overall this was not it. I'm so severely disappointed with how Metal Gear Solid finished. And then you'll notice that some things are out of order, like the ranking stream being before the last couple of parts, because I realized at some point the way I was locally recording streams was not shaking hands well with YouTube, in that it was only uploading my my microphone audio and not the game audio as well. So I had to go back. I had to delete like 16 videos and re-upload them over the past month. That was growing pains. I've fixed that issue. It shouldn't be a problem anymore. I should actually go and check some of these VODs to make sure that is not a problem anymore. But yeah, no. And then like the year rung out, we got we did a ranking of all the Metal Gear games, which was, I feel like I pretty much hit on a really agreeable list. That like the people that I talk to regularly said, yeah, no, that seems about like what you would expect someone's experience of Metal Gear Solid to be like. And then I did a I just did like a personal end of year review thing where I went through everything I had done both on stream and off stream. Basically doing this, but ranking them. And a little understory along here has been that I've been really into Sonic Racing Cross Worlds, and I haven't been hitting every event because during October, they ran the Joker Festival and the Ichiban. Did I stream the Ichiban Festival? No, I didn't. So yeah, I wasn't able to hit the Joker and the Ichiban festivals on stream. I had to do those on my own. But basically every other one, I've been doing on stream. And I think I may stop that once the Mega Man Festival hits. Yeah, I feel like I've been running my course with this game. But it's been an extremely enjoyable game, so that's not an indictment on the game itself. That's an indictment on me being able to continue talking about it while playing it. But we'll see. But yeah, I highly recommend people check out Sonic Racing Cross Worlds. That's been a really fun time. And now we're up to... Let's ignore the big ones for now. I played Agree. And my friend Apollo also played Agree. He, at the end of his 3-hour stream, he challenged his viewers and friends to go play it themselves. So I had a little bit of cheating knowledge. I knew some answers going into this. But with that said, in 90 minutes, I managed to get a clearing run. In saying that, I think my clearing run was like an extremely easy seed. I feel like maybe I should revenge this game at some point to see if I can do it again on a not so easy seed. But at the same time, I feel like I'm free. I feel like I defeated the challenge I was set out. But yeah, no, Agree was a lot of fun to do, and being able to rub in Apollo's face that I managed to clear that in 90 minutes always feels good. In saying that, I haven't actually rubbed it in his face that much outside of the one time he streamed it. So yeah. Before I move on to the latest things, Monster Hunter Wilds big final update was Gogmasios. And Gogmasios was really, really good. Alright, okay, yeah, no, these are out of order. So Lumen Him was fine. Gogmasios I had to re-upload. But yeah, Gogmasios, a lot of fun. That's when I got to collab with Apollo and Ken Evergreen. That was the first time I got to, like, speak to Ken as well. Really nice, as I said before, really nice dude. I hope to be able to collab with him again in the future. And that was a fun time. Gogmasios was a great way to end off Monster Hunter Wilds. I'm probably not going to stream Monster Hunter Wilds again until the expansion hits. But I will be on my own time playing through events and stuff to just stay caught up, stay up current. I don't think I need to jump back into a stream to do Arch-Tempered, what's its name? Arkveld. Yeah, I don't think I need to do a stream of Arch-Tempered Arkveld, but I will be trying to hit that up before the expansion comes out. And then when the expansion does come out, we'll be jumping back into that. I hope they make the co-op for the expansion a lot easier, because if I can do the story of that in a collab form, I'd really appreciate it, Capcom. Please let me do that. But now we get to the story of me playing Silksong once every week or two, while also juggling the Final Fantasy Marathon, which has been hell. As I said before, I've come to a realization that juggling two different things at the same time isn't great for my schedule. I've been trying to make it work. I am really enjoying doing both of these things. Final Fantasy has been on the back burner for almost 2 weeks now. I need to get back to that. I'm probably going to jump back into Final Fantasy 2 tomorrow. And in saying that, Silksong I left on a weird spot, so I need to get back to that too. Oh god, yeah, I gotta work out how I'm going to be moving forward with these two games. Like, I'm still going to be doing them side by side, but I think once I finish Final Fantasy 2, I'll take a small break from Final Fantasy so I can bash out the rest of Silksong and then go back to just focusing on one thing at a time on streams. And then from that point on, I should only try to focus on one thing at a time, unless something really, really hits that I need to cover. Yeah, talking that out loud, I think that's to go from here on out. Yeah, no, that's the last year in content. And yeah, no, it's been a lot of fun. Like, I'm really glad I've been doing this. It's having a full-time job while doing this has been a little difficult at times, especially when life stuff happens. Because October was very busy for me. In saying that, I managed to stream more in October than I did in another month, as I'll show in my analytics in a second. But yeah, over the course of this time, I've been learning a little bit. Like, you'll see that I've kind of changed the style of my thumbnails. Like, these Metal Gear Solid parts have, like, the part number here next to the logo. And over time, I realized that wasn't very good. So I started putting the part numbers over here. And I think even after Pokemon, I was like, that's still not great. So I ended up enlarging them for Silksong. Just little lessons I've been learning. And like, you can see that like there was still a mix of like, okay, I'm doing it for Pokemon here, but I'm keeping the old style for the Metal Gears. Because I like thumbnail consistency. Yeah, no, I was talking about that. Kos, I think I may do a Revenge of Agree at some point, just to see if I can do it on a harder seed. But yeah, so that thumbnail thing, let's go into my playlist. It's specifically because, so I made a change in Pokemon, which... Do I not have... Oh no, there's the playlist for Pokemon Legends. I don't know why it ended up all the way down here, but sure, okay. So yeah, it was basically the change... Oop. Not like that. Please, not like that. Get rid of it there. View full playlist. Essentially, when it came to playlists, I wanted the thumbnails to stay consistent within the playlist. So even though I had made a change, in the middle of the Metal Gear Solid games, I kept the old thumbnail style there and went with the new one here. Just for consistency in these playlist orders. Because I'm a stickler for things being consistent in these areas. Like, I don't want to have, like, a visible change, and because I wanted because the older Metal Gear Solids had all this old thumbnail style, I kept it going through to the end of Metal Gear Solid 5, so that, like, the entire Metal Gear Marathon, which is a playlist as well, like, where is it? Peace Walker, Ground Zeroes, Rising, 4, 2, 1... It's somewhere. There it is. Metal Gear Marathon. I do have a playlist that's just every... Oh, right. Okay. I made that point earlier, but it wasn't actually showing it here. Let's pull that over. yeah, so from start to finish, it's just like the same thumbnail style. Except for this one. Ignore that one. But yeah, that's something I also want to talk about working on. So, I like I mentioned before, I made all my assets myself. It's always been like this is a work in progress sort of layouts, thumbnails, everything. Like, I'm working things out in the first year. I want to like figure out what I'm doing with the identity of the channel. And so let's switch through things. So I think I'm going to finish out Silk Song and the Final Fantasy Marathon like this. I'm still going to keep this beginning stream and all these different scenes. Also, I need to talk about these two right now. The standard definition 4x3 and the ultra wide. I threw these together very quickly for Silk Song and the Final Fantasy games. I'm just going to be scrapping these. I don't think they look very good. I wanted to try and experiment with them. Maybe in the future I'll experiment with these type of layouts a bit more. But right now, it's just like not the best. So I'm just going to be sticking with my standard layouts for the foreseeable future. And then, yeah, once I finish Silk Song and the Final Fantasy games, I will be reworking all of these stream assets. Like this background, this like blueprinty sort of background, that's gonna go away. The borders on everything will get a full overhaul. I think the logo will stay the same. I feel like touching up the logo is gonna be a bit too much. But just like the visual style of the stream should go through an overhaul. Thumbnails, I think I've landed on a spot where I'm okay with them right now. And then like any future redesign of the thumbnails will be through me getting new art. Which is something else I want to do. I want to try and get skebs done. I need to make a full turnaround of my PNG model, so that way I can send it out to commission artists and like get a couple done. Not too many, like maybe 2 or 3 different styles that'll work well for thumbnails, and then see where I go from there. But I don't want to get too many because I don't want to stick with the PNG for too much longer. Ideally, the 2nd anniversary, I'll be able to switch up to a VTuber. I won't keep that as a hard stance promise, but that is my ideal goal. But in saying that, I think I want someone more professionally designing that. But yeah, I think last thing to kind of like end this out is I just want to do a quick look at this analytics tab because I thought this was fun. So let's drink this. There we go. Let's bring that over there. There we go. That's fine. So let's focus on our time stream. Put it by weeks. And from February... Oh, that's this year. I want to go to 2025. Excuse me, I changed that. There we go. So, over the past year, I've been pretty much hitting a weekly, like doing once a week where I can. There was like a 2-week break in May. I think I got sick then, and so I couldn't stream. And I may have been busy with something else at the time too. But yeah, even if it's just for a little bit, I usually hit something once a week, which I think that's good. I want to try pumping these numbers a little better. Like these under 1 hour streams just aren't flying. Under 1 hour a week, I should say. But that's not flying well with me in my head right now. And so I do want to make it like a little bit more consistent than this. These ones that are like big outliers of a lot of time are really funny as well. Like I don't know how I had the time to do 20 hours in 1 week. But yeah, no, overall I did like 404 hours, which I don't know, that sounds like a lot to me. That sounds like a pretty reasonable amount of time over the year. Hold on, let me snooze my ads. But something very funny I want to show. So keep in mind that was what? 403 hours and 51 minutes. The first time I streamed on Twitch was sometime in January 2017. So I'm just gonna go to the beginning of January. 892 hours and 49 minutes. Most of my time streaming, like almost half, has been in this year since I started PNGtubing. And that seems like a very funny statistic to me. Actually, let's do it by month. Yeah, like you can see like a little bit here, massive gap, a little bit here, and then a bit of a gap, a little bit here, gap, a little bit, and then just consistency. Damn, what was September 22? Oh my god, I remember what I was doing September 2024. That was me doing Reynasis and Shadow Generations. No, not Reynasis, Neo Twui. Damn, RPGs do a lot for me, apparently. But yeah, okay, let's put that away. Let's put the statistics away. No one needs to see how much money, or lack thereof, I've made on Switch. But yeah, no, I'm not doing this for the money. I'm just doing this for the love of the game. The only analytic I actually ever really cared about was like, time and viewers, really. But yeah, okay, let's move myself to the middle as well. Oop, there we go. But yeah, I don't know how much more I have to talk about here. Like I mentioned before, I do want to end up going into like a proper VTuber mode. As I said before, I have plans for a backstory on that. I need to sketch out a design myself and then like get someone more technically knowledge to make a proper turnaround and a model and everything like that, which hopefully I'm able to do in the next year. If not, I'm not too worried about missing that deadline. I just think that would be a nice deadline. But yeah, no, this has been a very fun year. And I'm looking forward to doing more. I'm looking forward to finishing out the Final Fantasy marathon and then, doing more after that. I got ideas of what I want to hit up. I know I want to hit up Resident Evil for sure. And And from there, I gotta think of other things. I'm already thinking of my September subathon, which will probably be another dev stream style thing. Because yeah, that's a great idea after last year. But you know, and to everyone that's followed over the last year, thank you so much. I'm like closing in on 100 followers. If I can hit that soon, I'd be so happy and so grateful to everyone. I've gotten a lot of followers over the last year. A lot of them were bots and have since been deleted. But no, I got affiliates like right before becoming a PNGtuber, so I've been doing this entire thing affiliated, and it's been nice having like slow growth, I'll say. Like, again, I'm doing this for the love of the game. I just want to share my first experiences through multiple franchises and just like games I love and games I enjoy. Like, before debuting, I did many years ago a stream of Hollow Knight because a friend sent that to me, and that was a fun time. So I always felt like I wanted to hit up Silksong, and I'm a little bummed that my schedule around Silksong has been so wonky. Even though I really enjoy that game, I feel like I've kind of been doing myself and the game a disservice with the way I've been handling it. So yeah, I think my immediate plan is to just pump out Final Fantasy 2 so then I can go all in on Silksong for the foreseeable future. And then come back to Final Fantasy 3 and finish out the marathon from there. And yeah, like anything after that, I'll figure out as I go along. But I think for now, let's call it a night. So for everyone that came by, thank you so much for watching. And thank you for the year of the support and streams and just being around and hanging out. But until then, I'll see you all later.